This AIP3 demo is for climate and weather forecast model visualization in the Arctic. The objectives are to demonstrate publishing, discovery, and visualization of weather and climate data, to highlight the value of standards in an Arctic SDI, and to support end-user desktop visualization of complex weather and climate models for decision support. These are the participants in the demo. Three perspectives include an interest in long-term climate forecast maps in the Arctic, visualization of climate normal at weather stations in the Arctic, and for logistics purposes, an understanding of current weather conditions and weather forecasts. Climate forecast maps were derived from the IPCC Web Map services of decadal long-term climate forecasts. These were wrapped as KML on Web Map services so that they could be projected for a global or polar view. For local climate, a NOAA CD-ROM of global climate normals from 1961 to 1990 were loaded into a database and converted for access using KML to be viewed in a global geobrowser. For access to weather forecasts, UCAR Unidata execute global weather forecast models several times a day. These also were wrapped as Web Map services and as KML to be viewed in a global geobrowser. Climate data were converted from CD-ROM into KML. IPCC Web Map services were wrapped in KML, and the weather forecast models were wrapped in KML. These were all registered in the Component and Service Registry, which is in turn harvested by the GEOS Clearinghouse, or search engine. A user then forms a request, sends it to the GeoPortal, which passes it to the search engine, returning XML results back through the GeoPortal to the end user. If these include KML links, a Google Earth or other KML client is launched in order to visualize the KMLs from the different locations. The GeoPortal is used to formulate a query, in this case requesting climate KML. The search goes to the GEOS Clearinghouse and one result is shown here. Basic metadata are displayed as a result, and full metadata can be also viewed. If one clicks on this link and it's actionable in terms of running a viewer such as Google Earth, then the data are automatically loaded into Google Earth. In this case, we can see the climate model data can be rendered on the globe on top of other data sets. Many climate data model elements are available to be portrayed this way. Here we see how multiple time series can be used or visualized to show how data will change over time. In this case, it's decadal forecasts for the month of July showing surface temperature changes. In this search of the GeoPortal, we're looking for climate weather stations. A data set is located through the GEOS Clearinghouse that shows the climate or meteorological stations for which climate records exist. These WMO weather stations for Greenland, Canada, and Iceland were turned into KML, and as in the previous example, can be viewed with other data using a global geobrowser, such as Google Earth. Climate graphs were developed and generated as part of the KML file to show the climatic normals of temperature and precipitation. The third search is for current weather forecast data that's coming from UCAR Unidata. Global forecast system models were selected and animated, in this case wrapped in a KML file. We see the generation of an animation loop of precipitation in the form of water moisture in the atmosphere progressing over a 48-hour period. 4 standards were used in the generation of this demo: the OGC Catalog Service, ISO metadata, the OGC Web Map Service, and OGC KML. This demo was produced by USGS, George Mason University, and UCAR Unidata.